still using a hammer.
I'm finished now.
Oh yeah. Okay. Ready? Okay, right. I'm Simon, welcome back to Unplugged Auto. What's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. We've got my dad's cafe racer here. We've been doing this is in mock-up stage, so we're just doing bits and pieces on it. We're trying to fit, we're trying to see what fits and what doesn't fit. I've had a hard time trying to find a few parts for it. But it's starting to come along and it's starting to look really good. We're going to do a lot more to it. There's still wiring to do. We have had it running, but we're going to do more bits and pieces as and when. It's like we're in a trial and error stage, so that as we're fitting stuff, we're having to go back and rework the last thing we've done. So it's becoming maximum effort now. So we're really, really close to our final stage. So we're going to be finally fitting panels to their final fitting place, and then there's going to be wiring and then some other bits and pieces still to do. I mean, the exhaust is not sitting correctly. We've had trouble trying to find a kickstart that cleared that. Then we've got, what else has he got here? He's got all sorts of shit to do. Can't remember. But anyway, this is the bike. We'll show you a before and after pitch.
I'll move the tank.
Yeah, the tank's getting set back, and there's a few other things. There's a couple of clearances in the handlebars and stuff. We'll show you a before and after picture. This thing was ugly when we got it. What the deal was is we had our bikes and we were having a lot of fun, and my dad said he wanted to get involved.
You got me involved.
Yeah, I did, but you're also being very noisy.
Sorry.
Right, so he said he wanted to get involved, and he said he wanted like a 60s cafe racer style monkey bike. Well, we got the Daxes, but they don't really like conform to that sort of style of bike because of the solid frames and stuff. So this is the original monkey style frame, but we've modified. We put a loop in the back. He's got a cafe pod on it. He's got different clocks, different things. We bought a complete bike as well, and then stripped the two to build this one, and then we used no parts from that whatsoever. So pointless. We'll go walk around the bike. We'll show you what the bike is actually entailed, and then hopefully we'll do further, updated videos on this when we finally get it running and riding. We're trying to get to a couple of events this year with this. We're going to be at Motorfest with this, at Coventry Motorfest. Hopefully with all the Daxes and this, and then you got Prescott Hill Climb. What's the name of that event? Kickstart Prescott Hill Climb. We're going to be showing the bike off there, so hopefully it'll all be done and finished by then. Come with us and I'll show you all the bits around the bike, what's what, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, we've got the bike up on the stand while up on our base so we can have a good look around it. I'll talk you through a few of the bits we've got on it. The wheels are 10-inch, converted to spokes. It did have the standard steel monkey wheels in it. We've kept the original drum brakes. Well, not out of necessity because the discs I would prefer discs on it, but with the drum brakes, they just look more period correct, and we're trying to stay as period correct as possible. So the tyres are almost period correct. They've got an old retro style pattern in them. Obviously the traditional clubman style cafe bars. The tank is off eBay. We just measured up a bobber tank, the best size we could find. I wanted something with a nice flat top on it. This is stainless steel, and then my dad's gone ahead and he's polished it within an inch of its life, so now it's going to stay like that. We've got some nice Honda logos for it. Engine wise, it's packing one of those Welsh bike eBay special 140s with a Z40 cam in it. Complete package with cam. Came with an oil cooler as well. We haven't fitted the oil cooler yet, we're still mucking up. But this bike is 100% in its mock stage, so nothing is in final assembly. It's all just put together to see how it all fits and everything else. Like I said, on the bars, we've got the clubman style bars. We've gone through a set of nice upright chrome clocks on it. Instead of like the traditional monkey like, it's got the headlight unit and the speedo is all built in. So we've done it like this, so it looks more like 60s retro style. The switch gear is Honda. It might be replica stuff, but it's off a Honda CG 125. It was the only set of like period looking controls I could find that had all the right stuff that looked like you know, like 60s 70s style, with both cable operated brakes front and back, or cable operated levers. The grips are some sort of like early 60s scooter style. The front mudguard, my dad sourced it somewhere online. It looks really smart. It looks the right power for it. So the exhaust is from OO Racing. He wanted a nice twin exhaust for it, and that's what he's got. It's got an extended aluminium swing arm in it. I think it's plus 4 centimeters. That come on a bike that we bought for bits, as did the bar risers, the clocks. The headlight, it got off eBay. It's just a 7-inch headlight unit. It's got the indicators built into both sides. We found the smallest bullet style indicators we could find somewhere direct from China. He's got, you know, some bar end mirrors that are obviously similar period correct. If you go around the other side, he's got a velocity stack with a nice little bit of gauze filter in it, which is quite nice. That's all looks kind of fancy. He's got a chrome cover, he's got chrome side panels. He's got pegs. We were going to do a set of rear sets on it, and we started mocking them up and everything else. And do you know what? For what it was, they just didn't feel right when you sat on the bike. It just sort of like, it pushed your hip up into your stomach when you sat on it. You wanted to be, as silly as it sounds, you look like a on it, but you do. You sit on it and your knees go further forward than your crutch. But when you had rear sets in it, you were sat like this, and there just wasn't the physical room to do it unless you're like 4 foot. So, I mean, you're not going to go pan-European riding on it, but you still want to go out on it for an hour. After that, you'd be done. So, but with this engine in, the size of the bike, with the 10-inch wheels, it should go like the clappers. It should be quite a good bit of a laugh. He's got, the wheels I think are CRF 50 replicas, but they're for like the 50cc version, so they've got drum brakes, so the brakes are going to be shit on it. But I mean, they're going to be more. You ride it within its means. You don't go like 100 mile an hour and then like slam on loads of brakes. You think ahead. You drive, within your means. I mean, if you haven't got the greatest brakes, you don't do 100 mile an hour to a stop on it. You sort of roll into it, use the gearing, ride the bike correctly. The gearing he's got in it was the smallest rear sprocket I could find for it. He's rocking a 37, which sounds quite tall, but the tyre's a lot bigger than it was. So most of these monkeys have a 10-inch wheel in them, an 8-inch wheel, sorry. And this has gone to a 10. Then it's got quite a high profile tyre on it, so that's going to up the gearing. Then it's got to an 18-2 front. So it should, to be honest, I'd be shocked if this bike don't get to 90 mile an hour. It should be fine. I mean, the tyres are all speed rated. They're the correct tyres for the race, for the speed ratings. It's got a nice set of shocks on the back, so thingy. But the front, we've remained with the standard 50 front forks, only because the period look, it looks correct. I mean, if we stuck a set of big upside down forks in it, yeah, it'd look cool and trick and everything, but it just wouldn't have that like cool retro styling that you need in one of these. Well, for what he's aiming for. Like I said, when we were going for the rear sets, we started mocking up and putting them on, and it just didn't look right. It looked like someone had just fobbed them on. So we used the original monkey pegs, but what we've done is we put an 1.5 inch spacer under the engine to drop the pegs down, so that gives you a bit more movement in your legs, so you can get your footing in properly on it. But this, like I said, it's only in mock stage, so absolutely anything could change. It could end up probably not looking like this by the time we finish it. We'll probably end up putting rear sets on it, knowing us. So he's got a rear hoop, which we ordered the smallest hoops from Taiwan or somewhere like that. His calf pod came off from OO Racing as well. Wasn't it? Shire. It was Shire bikes. 40 odd quid, was it? So that was a bargain. I mean, you couldn't even buy the material for that. I mean, that looks period correct. And then he's got a hoop in here, and we've got a nice light somewhere. So once he's got his light bracket in, we're going to mount that up on the high, and he's going to have a nice round light. We did have one that was chrome and said stop, but it looked a bit too American. So we're trying to make it, even though it's it's not a Japanese bike, it's a Chinese bike, but we're trying to make it look like a period correct Honda era bike. I mean, it isn't actually really a British bike, it's not really a Japanese bike, it's not really a thing. It's one that we've made, it's like a homage, it's like a trophy bike, like a bike that you want to build something, this is what you build. And this is what he wants. He wants like something that looks 60s, but you don't know if it's Japanese, you don't know if it's British, it's just its own thing. But when we put it up against a big bike, it's hilarious. You're sitting on it and it looks like they've just like shrunk a miniature motorcycle. It's not like anything's out of proportion, like even the grip sizes are in proportion. We tried to keep the bike looking as correct as it possibly could. I mean, it's never going to look like a proper bike, but I wanted to put a V-twin motor in it so that it looked like a proper, or like a flat V or something, so it looked like a bit more beefy. But then you're taken away from the fact that it's no longer a monkey bike. And I mean, it's got basically what is a monkey frame but a Chinese version. Then it's got a Chinese engine, but you got to remember that these parts are cheap. So like if you were doing this on a scale of like an old Norton or something, like the tank would be probably the cost of this whole bike. So you got to think it's a hobby. I mean, you're not going to be, you're not going to want to remortgage your house for a tank. You know what I mean? And then you'll end up with a bike that you probably won't get a ride because it costs too much money. So he's going to get out and he's going to enjoy this. He's going to get out, he's going to put miles on it, he's going to get out. Even if he goes out for 2 hours at a time, he can put it back under his bench. It don't take up any space in his workshop. It's absolutely perfect. So once we've got it fitted up, we're going to get the wiring on this. Hopefully get this moving. This bike should be up and running in the next 3 weeks. And we should be riding it. And then we might ride it and it might ride awful. And then we'll have to rethink. But we're thinking about stepping the tank back. Well, he is stepping the tank back, and then he's going to shorten the seat a little bit just to make it thingy, because it's all a bit too nose up front. We were going to change the bar risers. I mean, this turns and it's fine, but it just looks like it's not correct. So we're going to stick Honda CG bar risers in it so that narrows up this mess here. And then you can drop the tank back, and then that gives it all the movement. I mean, it looks okay, but it's just not right. We want it to look as proper as it can. Yeah, and a couple of bits he's got around here. He's got an oil temperature gauge that's gone in there. I'll tell you another thing we had a problem was we're trying to find a kickstart that looked, period correct and was big enough to clear all his exhaust and stuff. Plus, it's got a nice big lever on it, so you can jump and wail on it to get it going, because these 140s are carrying a bit of compression in them. So yeah, he's picked that up from somewhere online. The exhaust is going to come up a lot higher and sit a lot more up here, but we just got it like all slotted together so we know what's in the way of everything. Because you build something like this and then you put a bracket here and then you go, should have put it over here, and then this is what happens. And then we must have took this thing back in pieces and in and out of mock-up stage like probably for the past 2 months, and then we stopped and go, right, we need to get this. We were putting the tank on and we needed a fuel tap. The fuel tap was fine, but it went straight down and hit the top of the cab, so we need one that had a 90 on it, and then that's like another 3 days, and that sends the progress on someone else. And then, but this is how it is. Like the rear light and stuff, we're waiting on to whether or not we're going to cut a hole in here and have it sit inside this back pod. Because once you put it on here and it sits too low, then you've got the number plate and it's just covering up thing. It's just, for the scale of it, you don't want a tiny number plate because it just looks odd. But you want not a full size plate because it'd be over here. But you've got to sort of size everything up. And then that's where we're finding the problem is when you put something on, it looks like someone's just slapped it on. It don't look correct. So we'll get through it eventually. We'll keep you updated and posted on this. I mean, if people enjoy this, then let us know. If you want to ask questions in the comments. I'll try and answer the best I can to what you want to ask or what you want to know. Like our channel, follow us, and if you like it and you think there'll probably be more on this, let us know what what you're interested in seeing. We've got an ATC. I've got my Honda ATC. That's going to get done. That's getting brake, and that's going to be a full resto. That's not going to get modified in any way at all, because I definitely won't put a 140 in it, or cartwheels, or plastic PVC pipe and drift it, ever. Because you put PVC pipe over the tyres, couldn't you? Make it like a drift drive. Ciao for now.